has colorful. I think that's how it is turned. And then she evolved, but she didn't want to go any further than that. So one day I called her in the office and I said, "No, I have 3 old ladies to take a course. You remember that? Did you ever take that course? What course was that? I didn't remember that, but anyway, I took that course and I said, how about going to LPN? All right. Okay then. However, that was a good employee. Like, when I'm looking at it, I know they were good, very good employees, except the off time. I know I made some very friends in so many ways. I realized that, but that's how it is. Little Patsindi, I call her Little Patsindi. To me, she's always Little Patsindi. I didn't hire her. But I did go and paint her corridor yellow. Anyways, coming back to the trail. 33. I can tell you age. She started at 16. 33. Really good. Anyways, just to say that Loren was tough it out for over 10 years with this old man. She was pretty good. I was a tough. I was hard. You recall how tough I was? Oh yeah, you were tough. Anyways, to the man, let's go back to your everyone here. It's going to stay you because keep it up. You're not in the vicinity anymore. And thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to invite Joanne. So Brenda wrote a speech for us and she couldn't be here today. So Joanne has graciously accepted to be told.
You're voluntold?
She didn't even tell me she was writing this. So, of course, this is Brenda's speech. So, I'm very happy to see Lorraine retire at such a tender age of 28, or is it 29? Right? I was thrilled when I was asked to give a speech at this party, and I'm very sorry that I cannot be there to deliver this in person. That doesn't mean I cannot tell tales about working with her. She started working at St. Anne at a very young age, which meant she was fair game for the more mature staff to teach her the ropes. She was a very good healthcare aide, but still a very young and gullible, or maybe she was just taking the wrong advice from the wrong person. So she asks you to recall the food part. Okay, so she says here, well, someone, not me, told her to hide in the food cart, that big stainless steel food cart.
With doors that lock?
Yeah. So to hide in the cart, after we were finished handing out the burnt trees, and to scare the next person. So now good advice or bad advice. Lorraine always listened to the nurse that she was working with and took the advice to heart and climbed into the cart and did indeed scare everyone when she got stuck in there. Between laughing and trying to figure out how to get her out, it was quite an ordeal. She did end up with a bruised and swollen ankle and arm, and she asks her, why would anyone climb into a food cart? Then there was the time after Brenda looked after Lorraine after having surgery. And, well, first she has to try out her full limits of pain drugs. Then she has to go to the bathroom. So Brenda had walked her to the bathroom and she was really feeling the effects of the medication. So when she was ready to go back to bed, she says those words every nurse wants to hear is, "I think I'm gonna faint." So Brenda pulled the call bell and pulled the call bell to get help, and Lorraine promptly slaps her hand and turns it off as she's heading out of the bathroom. She did manage to turn on again before she caught her, before she fainted. And then the next day, with help, she decides, this was when Lorraine was still smoking, way back then, that she needed to go for a smoke. So Brenda takes her outside the exit doorway at the end of the hallway to go for her smoke. So being in her room at the far end of the hall, of course, took her out the back exit, and she, of course, knew a little better that time to come back with a wheelchair. So just in closing, there's so many stories to tell about Lorraine and so little time. She was a great healthcare aide, co-worker, and friend. Thank you for letting Brenda. Thanks for letting her have the opportunity to work with you and be your friend as well as myself. Enjoy your retirement and all the good times that come with it. So take care and stay out of kitchen
Yeah. I think I know how that story finishes, by the way. With Betty that morning. Do I go there? Do I go there? Do I go?
I think you should. If Betty got mad at her, don't go there.
If Betty was here, she'd be telling us. I think it has something to do with removing your own packing.
She also didn't want to sleep with the night light on underneath.
Yeah.
She said, I didn't want to cry. I didn't want the nurses to catch me underneath the bed trying to turn off the light.
I was. So Colleen and I have prepared something with her.
So in 1983, St. Anne Hospital was blessed to have hired a very young, spirited girl who we're all here to celebrate. In December 1985, Nadine was offered a full-time job as an HCA. In July 2008, she started working as a scheduler for St. Anne Hospital. Yeah. Over the years, Nadine has demonstrated her endless commitment and dedication to St. Anne Hospital, from moving from one department to the next, and finally leaving a huge void in the scheduling department. There will be nobody as thorough or as precise as what you were.
Anyone who knows Nadine knows that she loves St. Anne Hospital. She was always the first one to suggest a barbecue as well because she loves food. And after all, food and her first love, the hospital, not Laurent, is a great combination. What? Oh, come on, go ahead.
So most of us have been fortunate enough to work with Nadine, and as there's several managers here, you can all attest that you know how devoted Nadine has been, and she's always been there to take care of the patients as well as staff, making sure that schedules were always up to date and that all the staff were paid. She's always gone the extra mile for everyone, and when people came to ask her for questions regarding her pay stubs or how the sign-ups worked or any other questions, Nadine was always there willing to help them out. She was respected not only by her peers but by the entire region. As new managers that are here know, Nadine has a wealth of knowledge regarding the collective agreements, and she was always ensuring that she could do her best to try to prevent grievances from occurring. She didn't hesitate to let the employer
Such
know
as it is.
she didn't hesitate to let the employer know that they may have overlooked something, and she would ask them to re-examine the situation so that it could prevent improvements from both her employers as well as the staff. She always had everyone's best interest in mind.
So Lynn would often have us in stitches telling us stories, past and present. One that comes to mind is when she was still working as a healthcare aide. She dressed up as a Dalmatian for Halloween. She brought a food tray to a patient and her visitor said, "Oh look, how cute, a cow is bringing you
Oh, sorry.
Lynn was so insulted. She says to me, "I know I gained weight and the costume was a little snug, but it didn't have any udders. Is that guy blind? I was a Dalmatian." Needless to say, Lynn never wore that costume again. But we got to hear the story over and over again, and it was funnier every time we heard it.
Now, Nicole and I were present when one of Lynette's other colleagues told her that maybe she should take some natural X to get, things going. It really was it what? Was that you?
Yeah, she heard about it.
Oh, the laxative?
She was in charge.
Oh, you're testing the natural X.
You were loose after.
Just in case.
I'm gone off the word. I'm like a
A whole bowl of natural X. That stuff doesn't work.
I never really questioned you when you told me the story, likely because I was too busy picturing you clenching your teeth together. But now that I think about this story, it really makes me question.
Did she tell you the part where she was wrestling Louise Penner to get into the toilet? Because they were both at doing it together.
But I question that you would really need to take laxatives because it hasn't really been that too long that a very vivid memory comes to me when you and I were at Place Juliet. And I'm sure Nicole recalls an event over at Sears. You didn't need the natural X. Beth also spent many years representing the support staff by being a union rep. She did this thankless job that she loved so much, as she loved to support her co-workers and ensure everyone was treated equally. I didn't know how much work a rep had to do until I was elected to represent the support staff a few years back. I learned a lot thanks to you, Lynette. The need to listen to the members, to stand up and speak for them, and to fight for what is right, as you've done for so long.
Lynn and I became close when she took the scheduling job. We worked together a lot and also shared office space for quite a while. We spent so much time together that we called each other work wife. She truly is a dedicated employee, a wonderful person, and fiercely loyal to those she cares for. I was lucky enough to have her in my corner. We laughed together, we cried together, we bitched together, and laughed some more. And we actually managed to get some work done too. In the last couple of years, Lynette, Colleen, and I became the three amigos, or Charlie's Angels as we like to call each other, spending our breaks together and trying to solve the problems of the world.
Lynette has always been an exemplary employee, colleague, and friend. I've had the pleasure to work with you for the last 10 years and really got to know you over the last few. There have been many times when she was very occupied baking bread or doing her hair, but yet she still found the time to let me in and get to know her.
Lynette, when Colleen and Lynette left, they left a big hole at work for me. And after Lynette left, I even had people come see me to make sure I was okay. You are irreplaceable. You are truly one of a kind, and I'm so grateful to have had a chance to work and learn from you. But most importantly, I'm lucky to have your friendship.
And on a personal note, I'd like to thank you for your friendship and your support that you've shown me. And I know that I've been completely cut in this over the last few years. You've been there for us through difficult challenges, both professionally and personally. Although selfishly you wanted me to remain at St. Anne Hospital because we did have a lot of good times, you encouraged me to take a huge leap and move on. Thank you for listening to both of us and understanding what was going on when no one else did or perhaps just refused to acknowledge. It's unfortunate that there was a time that you were alone and some of us wouldn't listen and we just said, you know, maybe we should just talk about the weekends.
Just good stuff. Just talk about the good stuff.
So I'm glad that I left St. Anne Hospital before you retired because I can't imagine the place without you there. All the best in your retirement and all the life brings you.
I did forget something. I forgot something, so I'll say it now. St. Anne Hospital has been lucky enough to snatch up Lorraine as a casual, and she really is enjoying picking up when she wants to. She's so organized, or I'm thinking it's anal. She told me that she was going to make a sign. One side would say yes, and one side would say no. And she put it beside her phone at night before going to bed. So that if she was called early in the morning to go in for a shift, she knew whether she could go in or not. I haven't done that in years. And I'm sure that when that in you're not working, you're lounging around in your purple velour tracksuit and trying to discipline your dogs. Oh, Ziggy, today again, I would just like to sing a little something. It's not going to be a touching song because I would start bawling. But because Lorraine always wants me to sing, I practice something, and I don't know if I'm going to screw it up, but I'll try. So, today I'm not doing anything. I just want to lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up the phone, just leave a message at home. Today I'm not doing anything. No, I ain't gonna comb my hair, cause I ain't going anywhere. No, 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 no. I'll strut in a birthday suit and let everything just hang loose. Yeah, 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 yeah. Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up the phone, so leave a message at the tone. Cause today I swear I'm not doing anything. Nothing at all. So I think Loren's going to come say something, but before you guys leave, I would like to take one big group picture to get framed for Loren. And please go get some pictures done with Loren so we can make her a little album.
Oh, this is overwhelming. Okay. Thank you for the speeches. And also thanks so much for the beautiful evening this evening. Well, my turn has finally come. It is so wonderful to see each and every one of you here this evening. 33 years ago, as soon as I got my driver's license, I drove to St. Anne Hospital to get a job. Ever since I was 8 years old, when my grandmother was admitted to St. Anne Hospital, I immediately knew I wanted to work there. It seems like only yesterday, really, how time flies. There is one specific specific person I wish to thank from the bottom of my heart. He is the man who hired me at St. Anne Hospital. C'est à cause de vous ce soir qu'on a cette chance de nous rencontrer ensemble. Quelle belle réunion. Merci. Okay, I can't see it. I would also like to thank all the managers that followed after Pajou. I know it is not easy, it's not an easy task, but your hard work and dedication to St. Anne Hospital sure does not go unnoticed. What a ride it was in those 33 years. The flood in '97, where we welcomed the fine staff of St. Pierre Hospital because their hospital had to be evacuated, as well as 2 different periods of construction where some of our staff had to go to work in Bethesda, and of course our dreadful fire that closed our facility for several months. I remember so clearly the lunch we had when the staff were united. We were like a family that got separated and finally gotten back together. Everyone was giving each other huge hugs. What a sight that was. The staff at St. Anne Hospital have always been like a second family to me in so many ways. Just like a family, whenever someone had a loss, we were always there to give each other support. We even fought at times just like brothers and sisters, but we forgave each other and moved on. I was always so amazed on how everyone worked as a team, particularly when something bad came in. My job was typically to stay on the ward with the patients, but every now and then I would get a glimpse of all the action in the ER. And I was just so proud of all of you and the remarkable work you do day in and day out, saving lives and healing the sick. What a sight to behold. In my time in St. Anne Hospital, I've worked in housekeeping, laundry, healthcare aid, and scheduling. I realized that every department has a role to play to create successful patient care. For making sure our hospital is clean, for maintenance that the environment is comfortable, dietary, HIS, admin, scheduling, lab, x-ray, and all the nursing staff and physicians. I would also like to thank MGU and QP. I was fortunate to be elected as steward. It was a great learning experience, and I would also like to congratulate Deidre Federley for taking over my role as chief steward. St. Anne Hospital has given me so much to be grateful for. One in particular is Nara. Thank you for being there for me and always being such a great supporter and being part of my life. I'm sure he will tell you that we spent way too much time talking about St. Anne Hospital when we were at home. The house is so much quieter these days. I also want to thank Carol for giving me the chance to become scheduler, and also for your persistence in getting on-site scheduling for all of Southeast sites, as well as getting our 4th ER nurse and obstetrical nurse, and many other things such as our new OR wing. But most of all, for believing in me. J'aimerais aussi remercier Nicole pour avoir organisé cet événement ce soir. Tu es une amie très chère et j'aimerais te remercier aussi pour tout le support que tu m'as donné dans les dernières années. L'hôpital Saint-Anne est très chanceux de t'avoir. I wanted to thank the great staff here at Helios for the meal and also the management for allowing this event to take place here. Seeing everyone here reminds me of a 33-year reunion and not really a retirement party. It's so wonderful to see everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I feel honored to have known you and worked with all of you throughout the years. Merci, thank you so much. You're being shy? I'm not so shy now. Et right. I think so.
Let's have fun.
Can I put stuff here?
There's more.
Hope everybody can see out there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Extreme here. C'est pas une pochette.
C'est pas un pecker warmer.
No? You know, I've got an electric blanket at first.
Wow, that's so nice. Hey, j'ai pas fini de me faire peinturer les...
No.
Thank you. Very nice.
Oh, that eases up in a bit.
Thank you very much. I will go.
For
I'm ready to go on a trip.
for Air Street.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you put it in.
Thank you.
It's for her wine.
My wine?
Nice one.
Oh, that is nice. Very nice. Put a flat iron in.
Okay, I'm turning this off.